What if I told you that over 2,000 years ago, the ancient Greeks built a device so advanced it could track the movements of the sun, the moon, and even predict eclipses, with gears and dials like a mechanical computer? Sounds like science fiction, right? But it's not. It's real, and it's called the Antikythera Mechanism. In 1900, off the coast of a small Greek island named Antikythera, sponge divers stumbled upon the wreckage of an ancient ship. It had all the usual stuff: statues, pottery, coins, but there was one weird chunk of corroded bronze that nobody could figure out. It looked like a lump of rock at first, but inside, wheels, gears, inscriptions, something strange, something that didn't belong. At first, archaeologists didn't know what to make of it. The technology was just too advanced. Gears that interlocked with precision, like the inside of a clock, but clocks weren't even invented until over 1,000 years later. It was like finding a smartphone in an Egyptian tomb. It didn't make sense. This strange object became known as the Antikythera Mechanism, named after the island where it was found. For decades, it sat in museums, too damaged to really understand. But slowly, scientists started to piece it together, literally and figuratively. With the help of X-rays and 3D imaging, they looked inside the corroded remains without damaging it further. And what they discovered blew everyone's minds. This thing wasn't just a clock. It was a mechanical computer, the kind that didn't run on electricity, but on gears and wheels and ancient brain power. Its job? To predict the positions of the sun, the moon, and maybe even the planets. It could tell you when an eclipse would happen. It tracked the phases of the moon. It even had a dial that followed the 4-year cycle of the Olympic Games. Yes, the Olympic Games. Imagine that. A device built in ancient Greece that could tell athletes when to pack their bags for the next competition. But let's back up a second. How did the ancient Greeks even think of building something like this? Well, the Greeks were curious. Really curious. They studied the stars, the skies, the patterns of the heavens. They didn't have telescopes, but they had math. And when you look up at the sky every night for years, you start to notice patterns. Like how the moon goes through phases, how eclipses seem to come back around, how certain stars show up at specific times of year. Greek scientists and philosophers like Archimedes and Hipparchus were way ahead of their time. Some experts even think the Antikythera mechanism was based on the ideas of Hipparchus, who had already figured out how to calculate lunar cycles and eclipses. But here's the catch. None of their writings describe a machine like this. So whoever made it didn't just read about the cosmos, they built the cosmos in miniature with gears. Now, you might be wondering, how many of these devices did they make? Are there more? Did every astronomer have one? The answer is, we don't know. So far, we've only found this one. Just one. That's it. Which makes it even more mysterious. Was this a one-of-a-kind invention? A prototype? Or were there others that were lost to time, buried in shipwrecks or destroyed in wars? We can't say for sure, but finding even one changes everything we thought we knew about ancient technology. The mechanism had at least 30 gears, though some scientists believe there might have been as many as 70 in the original design. That's not just clever, that's engineering genius. The gears were hand-cut, carefully arranged, and calibrated to represent complex astronomical cycles. One dial predicted solar and lunar eclipses based on the 223-month Saros cycle. Another tracked the moon's position with such accuracy that it even accounted for the moon's slightly faster movement at certain points in its orbit. It's easy to think of people in the past as less intelligent just because they didn't have the internet or satellites or smartphones. But the Antikythera mechanism reminds us that intelligence and creativity have always been part of human history. These ancient engineers didn't have modern tools, but they had observation, patience, and a deep understanding of how the world worked. And, maybe most surprisingly of all, it was portable. The Antikythera mechanism wasn't the size of a building or a giant observatory. It was small enough to be carried, maybe kept in a wooden box. It's like a cosmic pocket watch built centuries before watches even existed. But why build something like this? What was it used for? Some think it was a teaching tool, an ancient model to help explain how the heavens moved. Others say it was used by travelers or sailors to plan their voyages using the stars. Maybe it was built for a wealthy scholar or collector who wanted to own a piece of cutting-edge science. We don't know the exact reason, but one thing is certain. It was made by someone who understood the universe better than most people of their time. So, why does it matter now? Because the Antikythera Mechanism is a bridge between the ancient and modern worlds. It proves that advanced science and technology didn't start with computers or the Industrial Revolution. It started with people staring at the sky, asking questions, making notes, and daring to build something never seen before. The mystery of the Antikythera Mechanism still isn't fully solved. There are pieces missing, inscriptions we can't yet read, and functions we don't totally understand. It's a 2,000-year-old puzzle that we're still putting together, gear by gear. But every new discovery brings us closer to the minds of those ancient inventors who saw the stars not just as lights in the sky, but as a code they could unlock. In a way, the Antikythera Mechanism is more than just an ancient computer. It's a symbol of what humans can do when curiosity meets creativity. And who knows? Maybe one day we'll build something that seems just as impossible to future generations as the Antikythera Mechanism does to us.
Hey there, if you're enjoying this video and appreciate the effort behind it, don't forget to like this video. It really helps the channel grow, and if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications so you never miss an update. Oh, and one more thing, share this video with your friends. Spread the love and support. Alright, now let's get back to the video. Let me know if you want any tweaks.